Hello everyone, my name is Michael Knipp, and holy crap, it's May? Last month was really weird, and this month is going to be a weird transition also because I live in a state where things are gonna try to transition a little bit back to normal. So we're coming out of our quarantine bubbles a little bit and then going back into the real world to see what happens. So honestly, this is another month where I've got a strong possibility pile for my TBR, as Brie would say. But let's talk about the books that I am thinking about, checking out this month. First off, we can talk about The Dresden Files. I've been following along with that series, and I am up to book 3, which is also the book that the read-along that I'm a part of, hosted by Nikki, is we're on book 3 this month, Grave Peril. I'm looking forward to that. I've been having fun with these books. They're nice little palate cleansers. They haven't been very long thus far, and so I'm loving hanging out with that wizard who solves crimes. Next up is a book I've been reading for a little bit, like slow rolling for a while, which is Warbreaker. With a magic system based around colors, it's about 2 princesses who are trying to essentially prevent a war. I hit a part in this book that is just incredible and super interesting. I was kind of like, this is interesting, but this isn't my favorite thing. But I hit a point around the 3rd mark of the book, and now I am all in. So I am looking forward to continuing. I will finish Warbreaker this month. That's pretty much guaranteed. Additionally, I would like to get to Elantris this month because I just am trying to catch up with the Cosmere in time for, the big 4th book in the Stormlight Archive this year. I want to be caught up with the rest of my Sanderson fans, and also I want to know what these books are about because I love the Stormlight Archive so much I feel like I owe it to myself and to Brandon. Next up, if I decide to continue on with the Wheel of Time, this will be the month for The Shadow Rising. I have some other people that I know who are reading The Wheel of Time, and they are up to this point as well. So if I want to stay caught up and being able to continue to talk to them about The Wheel of Time, I should read The Shadow Rising. I loved the last book a lot. The pacing was a lot faster, and as much as the first one wasn't my favorite, even though I enjoyed it a lot, I feel like they have been getting more interesting in a lot of different fronts. And so I am looking forward to reading The Shadow Rising. Also, I've heard people talk about if you want to watch the TV show, the first 4 books is probably a good place to have a grasp on. So I would like to get that 4th book done. If for no other reason, then that's probably where a lot of people are going to be by the time the show comes out, assuming the show comes out in a reasonable time. This year I already did a big Chronicles of Narnia read, but I might be working on a project with some friends of mine here on BookTube, and so I'm going to be rereading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and we're going to be doing some kind of maybe in-depth look at that. Look forward to that. More details coming soon. Speaking of collaborations and group projects, I have been reading The Hunchback of Notre Dame with Christy Luis on her channel, Dostoevsky in Space. She kind of hosts a book club over on Facebook that she integrates with her BookTube channel a little bit. We've been reading The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and that is a tough read. There is some parts about that classic that are impenetrable to me, but it has been a fun group experience to try to struggle through that and get good things out of it as well. I've been trying to challenge myself by stepping out of my comfort zone more, and getting into classics with that group has been great. You should also just go check out Christy Lewis's channel. She's a great person, and her channel is a lot of fun as well. She's able to mix fun, lightheartedness with sometimes some serious and deeper topics, and she has a really good method of making classics interesting for people in today's day and age. I'm currently also reading Starsight. I love Skyward. I thought that was a great book. Once I got into it, I zipped through it. It wasn't available at my library, but I ended up obtaining a library copy. Thanks, Dad. And I am reading Starsight, and I am having a lot of fun with that so far. I think I'm probably about 10% in, so not much, but I have been loving that so far, and I'm looking forward to continuing with that book. It seems like we are already getting a little bit of a focus change, because the first book was all about how she wanted to become a fighter pilot. This book, it seems like there's maybe a new role for her and her friends to fill, and so we'll kind of see how that plays out. Additionally, from my library, I got the book Six of Crows, who my friend Deanie told me I am not allowed to DNF. It is a book that she likes. It's a book that has a lot of popularity on BookTube. I see it on so many people's shelves, and I am looking forward to giving it a chance myself. I don't know very much about it, except that it's young adult fantasy heist plot, but super character focused. I've heard that it's different than some of the other super romance focused young adult, but I don't know if that's, I don't really know that much about it at all, but I am looking forward to it. Another thing I've been throwing around is now, so a while ago, I did the poll that asked me what of my young adult series I should read, and the second most voted series was Twilight, and part of me has always wanted to read Twilight to see what the whole thing is about, but I didn't want to just be another old dude who just craps on the whole thing. Like, I want to come at it from a fun angle and not just a mean angle, and I know that assumes that I'm not going to like it, but I do have a feeling if I read it with my normal standards and practices, it's not going to be a book for me, which is fine if you enjoy it. But I want to try to read it in a way that could make it interesting for me and interesting for other people who like it or don't like it. And I'm working on an angle. I think I may have it, and I want to make it into something fun for everybody involved, and it might be the time for me to try to do that. Are you guys still interested in that? Should I read Twilight? Another thing that I feel a little bit bad about was I said that I was going to continue along with the Anne Along 2020, the read-through of the Anne of Green Gables series, and I fell behind last month due to it just being buck wild. I need to catch up by reading Anne of the Windy Poplars and Anne's House of Dreams, which are whatever books in the series those are. I've really enjoyed this series thus far, and so I do want to try to catch up with that back catalog a little bit. And finally, if you remember, I had this long discussion video where I talked about missing a little bit of the curation aspects that society used to have, because then everybody was able to kind of talk about the same things. And so I thought, oh, there is kind of a thing that's a little bit like this, which is a service that selects books that a lot of people end up reading the same ones. And I was like, oh, I should check out Book of the Month. And I realized that Book of the Month had a lot of books that I did love from previous years. So I decided that it probably has options for me moving forward. So I have 2 different books from Book of the Month this year that will also help me fulfill another thing that I've been wanting to do, which is read some actual 2020 books. The first is The Guest List, which was one of last month's choices for Book of the Month. It seems to be a murder mystery. I tend to like those. They're not always my favorite, but I always enjoy them. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out because that's, a book that people might have heard about because of Book of the Month. And then thanks to Tia from Tia and All the Books, I heard about a book called The Sundown Motel, which I'm getting strong Pacific Northwest vibes from. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I'll link a video up there where I talk about some audio dramas that I love and also what I mean when I say Pacific Northwest stories. This book doesn't take place in the Pacific Northwest, I don't think, inherently. I don't remember. I don't think it's actually technically a Pacific Northwest story, but I'm getting super awesome small town secrets, dark past, supernatural elements vibes from this. The only thing that I think may make me hate this is if it turns out that it isn't actually supernatural. I am the type of person that if you tease me with supernatural elements and it ends up being easily explained, I hate it. I don't think that's going to happen with this one. And so I'm getting really, really strong vibes that this could be one of my favorite 2020 books. Before I let you guys go, I want you to know that I'm so grateful that you're here watching my videos. If you want to see me talk about these books this month, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like the video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up now. But due to popular demand, I also wanted to talk to Amanda and have her come on and talk about her reading because you people seem to love when she came on before. And frankly, I love interacting with her. I think she's a fun person. I married her. And so I wanted her to be able to share some of her book fun with you guys as well. So thank you for watching my segment. Say hi to Amanda for me. Okay, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Amanda, and I'm Michael's wife.
So you were talking about how my getting into reading has gotten you back into reading as well.
Yeah, so I used to read a lot as a kid. I wanted to do like all the library programs, and I would read late into the night. And then, I don't know, middle school, maybe high school came around and I didn't really care about it anymore.
Is it because of boys?
I don't think it was about boys. I think it's more about having a job and school and everything. So life gets busy,
But now you're all about the audiobook.
So yeah, now I do a lot of audiobook reading, listening, because I have little kids. Is she being too loud? So I do more audiobook listening now because I have 3 little kids and I can't sit and read for long periods of time, but I can continue to work on things around the house if I have an audiobook playing. So I listen to books almost exclusively.
And you also are doing read-alouds with Molly.
And I do read-alouds with Molly. She's 4, and we've been reading aloud together, I don't know, 6 months now? Like chapter books. I've always read to her, but...
So what are some of the recent reads that you've been loving?
So I just finished, last week I finished Little Women, and I loved that. It was super good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was really, really long, but I didn't feel, it wasn't a pain to get through, so that was really fun. I'm reading through Harry Potter right now. I'm in the 6th book right now, so I'm almost done with that.
Well, you talked about, what was your favorite read this year?
Probably The Help. I really enjoyed The Help. I've liked that movie forever, since it came out. But I had never read the book before, and I heard a lot of people say that they really enjoyed it. So picked up the book on Libby and listened to that, and it was my favorite. I didn't want it to end. I really enjoyed it.
Which did you like more? The movie, the book?
Probably the book, but I thought the movie did a really good job. I was impressed with the movie after reading the book.
No significant, important things they left
No
out?
huge, yeah. No,
Good.
Pretty true to the book. Appreciated that.
So what are you planning on kind of focusing on this month for your reading?
So I'd like to, I need to finish Harry Potter. I want to get Good Wives, I think it's called. That's the second Little Women book. And then Molly and I are continuing to read together. We're reading Runaway Ralph right now. We've got one more chapter of that left. And I don't know what else. I don't have a lot of plans. It's just kind of whatever comes in to Libby.
And then what have we been reading?
And we've been reading Way of Kings. So we're picking at that super slowly because our time together without the children is pretty limited. But I've been really enjoying that. We're reading that almost every night. I'll fold laundry and he'll read out loud, and it's been kind of like a nice little date night. It's been fun.
Do you get the hype?
I'm enjoying it. I don't love it as much as you do because you're a little bit of a fanboy, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good story.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a reputation around these parts.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
I'm working my way through the series of Unfortunate Events, which is really fun. I never read those as a kid because the library holds were 1,000,000 miles long, but they're really funny. I'm enjoying those.
How do you think that those compare with the series? We watched the entire Netflix series.
Yeah, the Netflix series was pretty good. I've been impressed. Even some of the audiobooks are voiced by...
I think one of the audiobooks you thought was voiced by the cast.
I'm pretty sure they got some cast members. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. The audiobooks are dramatized. They're like an audio drama almost. So I've enjoyed that. It's fun. Oh, Anne. I've been reading Anne of Green Gables after Michael finishes for his Anne Along 2020. So I've been a little bit behind that. But
you gave me a little bit of grief on that because I am behind now.
I'm ready to move on to the next one, and he's not even started it yet. So I guess I could read it before him.
But
I have to get through Harry Potter before my loan is up. So yeah, really, really enjoyed the Anne of Green Gables books. I never read those before. But I've watched the mini-series, I guess, movie. I watched some Anne with an E, the Netflix series. I don't think I even finished season 1, though.
Oh, okay.
I didn't love that. It's fine. So those were I really enjoyed the books. And, I just finished the Narnia series again. I've read those, I don't know, 10 times, probably. So that was nothing new, but I still enjoy the stories. I read Mitford, didn't love it. I wanted to love it.
I haven't seen anyone on BookTube talk about it, so you're not going to get as much grief here, I think, as you are with friends in real life.
I know a lot of people who love it, and I wanted to love it so bad, and I didn't, and it was a struggle to finish. Michael kept telling me to just not finish it. I finished it. Not for me. So yeah, those are the main things that I've been reading this year. Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys again for watching. I hope you have an awesome May, and also...
I'm not your dad, but I am your best friend.
No one ever get enough. Always looking out tired. Sleep. No one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired. Sleep. No one ever get enough. Always looking out tired. Sleep. No one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired.